Caiden Cowger.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So, we have some very fascinating audio to share with you. I tell you, it is absolutely amazing. Completely amazing. You have a civil war that is basically going on right now in the Republican Party with the entire Trump deal. And you also have, it appears, the same thing going on the Democratic Party now. We have a video to play for you. Audio for radio, of course. But we have some audio to play for you of Bill Clinton slamming Obama. He has slammed Obama. According to what we have here from the AmericanMirror.com, and this has been validated by the Weekly Standard and also by Mediaite, apparently Bill Clinton believes that Obama has had an absolutely horrible legacy. He referred to Obama's legacy as being horrible. He said the horrible legacy of the last 8 years. We have the audio bit here for you. I mean, it's amazing. And he delivered this speech in Washington on Monday, yesterday. Go ahead, play it.
I literally, from the time I met her 45 years ago till we talked yesterday, she is the best change maker I have ever known. She always finds a way to make something good happen, to make people feel empowered, to buy people into the process, to make democracy work the way the framers intended for it to work. Now, if you don't believe we can all grow together again, if you don't believe we're ever going to grow again, if you believe it's more important to relitigate the past, there may be many reasons that you don't want to support. But if you believe we can all rise together, if you believe we've finally come to the point where we can put the awful legacy of the last 8 years behind us and the 7 years before that when we were practicing trickle-down economics and no regulation in Washington, which is what caused the crash, then you should vote for her, because she's the only person who basically has good ideas, will tell you how she's going to pay for them, can be commander-in-chief, and is a proven change maker with Republicans and Democrats and independents alike.
So, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear Bill Clinton said he referred to George Bush's years as being horrible? But he also referred to Obama's 8 years as being terrible as well. Called them horrible. Said that Obama has had an awful legacy. I mean, guys, this is a big deal, because now we have Hillary Clinton, her campaign, that is now slamming President Obama, going after Obama. And, you know, guys, this is a really big deal, because you are seeing a civil war that is breaking out in the Democratic Party. You have where the establishment is at war with the socialists in the party that are going for Sanders. And then you have the establishment that's going after Obama now. Would Obama be considered establishment, or would that be Hillary Clinton? Because Hillary's been in the business longer. So, really, what is this? I mean, you have like a triple civil war here going on in the Democratic Party. Hillary versus Obama versus Sanders. Then you have Sanders versus Hillary. And I don't know if it'd be versus Obama or not, because Obama is more of a socialist himself. However, he's not, he doesn't identify as being such. But this is a really just revealing piece of audio about how what the Clintons think of the Obamas. And another very interesting thing, guys, is that Vice President Joe Biden basically now has the go-ahead to go ahead and run, okay? He can go ahead and run for the presidency now because, I mean, open attack right now against President Obama. So this might be Joe Biden's chance to jump in the race, defending the president's record. I mean, this is really amazing. I mean, to hear the Clintons slamming Obama now, I mean, this is that's something else. I mean, like what he said, so we can put the awful legacy of the last 8 years behind us and the 7 years before that. Well, who's he talking about? He's talking about Obama and Bush. So he's saying that both Obama and Bush were awful presidents. So he is separating, he's distancing himself from Obama, along with his wife, distancing his wife from Obama. So guys, I mean, we this is really just absolutely fascinating for me to see this. I mean, just the Clintons now turning on members in their own party. You're seeing the same exact thing happen with the GOP. I mean, politics is just absolutely chaotic this year. I mean, you see something going on here. It's amazing. Another thing that we have in the news is from CNBC. Apparently, a GOP delegate has stated that primary votes do not matter. According to CNBC, GOP delegates at the convention, not primary voters or caucus goers, choose the presidential nominee, another member of the Republican National Committee told CNBC. After a similar proclamation last week by an unbound delegate from North Dakota, touched off a firestorm. People are under the misconception that it's the results of the caucus and the results of the primary that determines who becomes the nominee. In actuality, it's the delegates at the National Convention that are supposed to pick the nominee. Dana O'Rourke, a delegate from Nevada and a Donald Trump supporter, told Squawk Box on Monday. O'Rourke, I believe is how you pronounce it, comments nearly mirror last Wednesday's remarks on the program from North Dakotan Curly Hungeland. These names, I tell you, an RNC Rules Committee member. He went further, questioning whether primaries and caucuses should be held at all. He also talked about this, or his proposed rule change to allow any candidate who earns at least one delegate to submit his or her name to be nominated at the summer's convention. Going into this convention, they're going to try to make a lot of, basically going to try to manipulate things, to try to keep Donald Trump from becoming the nominee. O'Rourke said Monday, a lot of political operatives in the Republican Party are trying to make Trump, or trying to take Trump out at all costs. As an example of what she called a being manipulative, O'Rourke referred to the controversy at the Republican convention in 2012, which backers of the nominee, Mitt Romney, raised the bar for how candidates could qualify for the convention ballot in order to avoid any symbolic floor votes for Ron Paul. While Romney's nomination 4 years ago was never in doubt, this year it could go down to the wire, a brokered convention in which it takes more than one round of delegate or voting to choose the nominee. It appears likely, said O'Rourke. It's just that realistic. Democrats experienced the last truly brokered convention in 1952. Republicans came close at their 1976 convention. For Trump to lay claim to the 2016 nomination coming into the convention, he needs to win 1,237 delegates. He's more than halfway there, ahead of Tuesday's winner-take-all Arizona primary. Utah also holds caucuses, which Senator Ted Cruz and Ohio Governor John Kasich's still in the race. They're still doing very well. They might be able to win enough delegates to deny Trump the magic number. There's been attempts from all sides to take Donald Trump out of the mix, and it hasn't been very successful. The more they attack him, the stronger he gets, and he's resonating with America and the voters, O'Rourke said. So that's what we have here from CNBC. So this GOP delegate is stating that it's not the caucusers, not the primary voters, that decide who is going to be the Republican nominee. It's the people who vote in, who are the delegates, who are the super delegates. They're the ones who decide who's going to be the Republican nominee. So basically, in primary elections, our votes just really don't matter, is what she's saying. But, really what you have to understand here is that Donald Trump has to get 1,237 votes in order for it to be, down to the wire, all for Trump. Okay, but I guess they can still, from what it sounds like, manipulate the entire election process in the primary and select their own candidate, which could very well be Mitt Romney. And if Mitt Romney enters this race, I'm going to tell you something right now, we are going to lose. He is ensuring a Hillary Clinton win because no one likes Mitt. People do not like Mitt Romney. I do not like Mitt Romney. You're going to see evangelicals that are not going to turn out again. You're going to see conservatives that aren't going to turn out again. You're going to see a lot of Christians that are not going to be able to bring themselves to vote for a Mormon who many believe is a member of a cult. So I apologize, but we're just going to lose. He lost to Obama, which was an easy election he should have won, but because he's just a poor politician, a very poor for example, all right, look, Donald Trump, look at how much money Donald Trump gave Mitt Romney. And on top of all that, look at all the support that Donald Trump gave Mitt Romney. And then for Mitt Romney to just turn around and take back all the remarks that he made, such as Donald Trump is an excellent businessman, he's this, he's that, to now say that he's a horrible businessman, he doesn't know what he's doing, has absolutely no idea what he's doing. It's just so absolutely unbelievable. But that's what Mitt Romney he's known for. He's a Benedict Arnold. He is a weakling. He was the weakest link in the last election in the general, and he is now, trying to run for, I guess, the brokered nominee. I mean, guys, for crying out loud, Mitt Romney had his chance, and he blew it. Now allow us to elect someone, to nominate someone who actually has a chance at winning, be it Ted Cruz or be it Donald Trump. John Kasich is a loser. He needs to drop out. Okay, so I'm just telling you the way that it is. I mean, John Kasich, won one state, and it was his home state of Ohio, and he thinks that he's a champion of the world. I mean, the guy is really just, and I mean this with all sincerity, as nicely as I can possibly put it, the guy is a loser, okay? He is a weakling. He like I said before, for example, all right, look at all of his stances on social issues. I mean, the guy compromises all the time when it comes to traditional marriage. He is in support of homosexuality in a lot of circumstances. He said, "Oh yeah, what's wrong with going to a gay wedding?" He is A-okay with a lot of socially liberal policies. We need to compromise on this issue, compromise on that issue. The guy needs to drop out. He's not a conservative. And he calls himself a Christian, but I don't understand how you can call yourself such a thing when you are basically rejecting Christian values. I mean, you can't just take part of the Bible and agree with that, but then ignore the rest of it. It doesn't work that way. The Bible says that in order to be a Christian, you have to separate yourself from sin, because the Bible says that when you are free from sin, you become a servant to righteousness, but when you are free from righteousness, you become a slave to sin. The Bible says that when you continue living a life in sin, it means that you have never seen God or have ever known God. So how can you say, "Oh yeah, well, I just personally disagree with this, but it's all right to attend a gay wedding ceremony. There's nothing wrong with that." I'm not going to say that you can't be gay and be a Christian. That's John Kasich for you. I mean, if you want evangelicals to desperately stay home, that is a wonderful man to nominate. Because let me tell you something right now, I will never vote for Kasich. This upcoming election will be the first time that I ever vote. I am turning 18, first time I've ever voted. I am not going to waste my first vote on John Ohio Kasich. Okay? I'm not going to do it. I will seriously vote third party if it would come down to that. I will either vote for Ted Cruz or I will vote for Donald Trump. And I have expressed my disappointment in Ted Cruz on previous shows because I am so disappointed in Ted Cruz, especially with him hanging around with Glenn Beck, who's promoting his cult. And Ted Cruz applauded the White Horse prophecy. My gosh, I'm so disgusted with the way that politics is headed. And I've told you it's a very difficult time to have this job because everything is just upside down. I'm trying to make sense of it and trying to help you guys understand it. And it's very difficult for me to understand. Even with 5 years of broadcasting experience in political radio, it's very hard to analyze everything. It's very hard to tell you, who not to vote for, who to vote for, when they're just absolutely making a mess of it all. I mean, who would think that Ted Cruz, a supposed evangelical candidate, would be allowing a man to promote his cult at his rallies? Who would think of that?
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
J.P. Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, they're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. If you find a better rate, they will easily match it just for you. Plus, their specialty is precious metals IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive their free definitive gold guide, plus their exclusive A Sterling Time to Be Buying Silver report. They have an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau, so call the experts at Capital Gold Group now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 25security.com. That's the number 25security.com. 25security.com. Go to 25security.com.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that basically teaches their clients how to invest money, how to prepare for their retirement, how to reduce their 401ks, basically how to manage your money wisely. And the president of the company is Pamela Yellen. She has investigated over 450 financial products and strategies in search for an alternative task and voluntary of traditional investments. She has appeared on every major TV and radio network, and her articles and interviews have appeared in thousands of publications and websites. And she is a New York Times bestseller on Bank on Yourself Revolution. Now, if you'd like to find out more, you can go to 25security.com. 25security.com. Once again, that is 25security.com. You know, running for the presidency is supposed to be about portraying yourself as the most professional candidate fit for the office.
Caiden Cowger.
So what does Hillary Clinton do?
Somebody had to say it.
She barks like a dog.
You know? Who let the dogs out? 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 You know?
Show notes and segments from today's show will be posted at CaidenCowgerProgram.com. If you're on Twitter, just follow Caiden Cowger at Caiden Cowger.
That would be the best decision of your life. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had
So
to
we
say
have
it.
another thing here. I'm sure many of you probably do not remember who this guy is, but Aaron Carter. Aaron Carter. I saw this on Breitbart. And Aaron Carter is the guy, if you remember Liberty's Kids, it was a show that I used to watch all the time when I was little. Looking and a praying for a brighter day. I listen to my heart and I obey. How can I see it any other way? I'm looking at life through my own eyes. I take my heart in about, yeah, that is basically a entire PBS series on the Revolutionary War and about what our founders went through, about the entire process of creating this country. It was a great series. I highly recommend that if you have a lot of young children out there, seriously, look up on eBay or try going on some website and get Liberty's Kids, because it's a really wonderful series. And by the way, just for nonprofit purposes, you're not paying me to say this. I'm just telling you that is something that I would really get because it's a wonderful educational series. Okay, so it's a great thing to purchase. But with that being said, Aaron Carter was the guy that played, I forget who he played in that specific series. But anyway, Aaron Carter was one of the Liberty Kids on that series. And, go figure, he's also apparently a Republican. And Aaron Carter played on there. I want to get you the name of this because I hate telling you about something and then not knowing the name of these people. So you had, let's see. Aaron Carter. Okay, Aaron Carter sang that song that I was singing there for a minute. And let me see here. Liberty's Kids. Aaron Carter, because I want to make sure. Yeah, okay. So Aaron Carter and Kayla Hinkle were the two that, I guess Aaron Carter was not one of the specific voices, or was he? Was he one of the, I don't know. AARON. Yeah, Aaron Carter sang the opening theme song. Okay, and he also apparently played as Joseph Plum Martin, who was, I guess, one of the soldiers in the Continental Army during the American Revolutionary War. So he had various parts in this entire play, or in this entire series. And he sang that song, the Liberty Kids theme song. Well, anyway, he recently has announced that he is in support of Donald Trump. And he's proudly come out and said that I support Trump. I love Trump. I am supporting Donald Trump for president. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. It's on Breitbart, okay? And he said, does America want to have a president who follows or someone who leads? I vote for Donald Trump. And after he made that remark, endorsing Donald Trump, he ended up receiving a whole bunch of hate mail for it, to where he went to the extent of saying, I honestly don't think that I will, at this point, support Trump anymore. I've been bullied so badly because of it, I don't even want to vote now. I'm good, thanks. Death threats and an overambulance of attempts to humiliate me is crazy. And it's all because he just supported Donald Trump. He said, and actually thinks I think it's quite contradicting that people come at me for my beliefs, but, they are doing just that. They are expressing their beliefs. They're doing the exact same thing. They said they're coming at me for my beliefs, but they are doing this exact same thing to me that they hate. That's what Aaron Carter said. So all because Aaron Carter ended up saying, I like Donald Trump, people just started absolutely hammering him. And that is something that I've really just noticed. I mean, it doesn't matter if you are if you're getting it from conservatives or from liberals. If you come out and you say that you support Donald Trump, you are just absolutely ridiculed. You're called unchristian. You are called rhino. You are called this. You are called that. And I really just don't. I don't get what is so wrong with supporting Donald Trump. I really just do not get it. I don't understand what the big deal is. Another thing that we have here, moving on from the Hill, apparently the White House is planning on laying out the next chapter of Obamacare. According to thehill.com, the White House is looking to avoid a partisan flare-up as it rings in the 6th anniversary of Obamacare. In a series of events this week, President Obama's administration will look beyond the law's central issues of access and affordability and explore the next chapter of the healthcare reform bill or law, whatever. Health and Human Services, HHS, Secretary Sevilla Matthews Burwell plans to broaden the conversation about the 2010 law to highlight system-wide reforms to lower costs and improve quality, a senior administration official told The Hill. It's important to lay out the next chapter of the Affordable Care Act, building a healthcare system that puts the patients at the center and works better for all Americans, the official said. The initiatives such as delivery system reform and bundled payments are non-controversial and have bipartisan support in Congress. The pivot toward less controversial aspects of the law could prove helpful to Democratic presidential frontrunner Hillary Clinton, who is focused on preserving Obamacare while improving it. Just because there are bipartisan pieces of wording in this health care law does not mean that it is any less poisonous. Okay, so I really just don't understand what they're trying to do here other than trying to justify the Affordable Care Act as being this half good, half bad piece of legislation, because it is a horrible, horrible law that is absolutely taking a toll on the medical industry. And people are saying, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it now, simply because there are some new things that are coming out that are quote-unquote less controversial. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is a bad bill. Ask any doctor that is out there. They hate it. I mean, I know a lot of people that have planned on getting into the medical industry, and they are no longer doing that now because of Obamacare. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, at one point in time, when I was young, I wanted to be a doctor. Before I started this radio show, I had looked into getting into the medical industry. But because Obamacare was implemented, and my grandfather, being a chiropractor, was being affected by large portions of it, he told me, just forget about it. It is too bad at this point. Until Obamacare is done away with, we are in absolute trouble. Don't even think about it. So until this is done away with, I haven't even considered it. I've just focused on radio. I love radio, and that's probably where I'm going to stay. But it's really just it's disappointing. It really is to just to hear all this stuff coming out about Obamacare, and now that we're being told that it's somehow going to be less controversial, these new pieces that are coming out, and somehow that's going to make it better or more acceptable to people. Seriously? No, absolutely not. According to The Hill, Hillary's rival, Senator Bernie Sanders, has called for a massive overhaul toward a Medicare for All system. So, yay, more socialist programs. The White House's week-long focus on system-wide reforms, rather than the record-low uninsured rate or popular provisions like banning insurance providers from denying coverage based upon a pre-existing condition, reflects growing confidence in the administration that the law will stay on the books after Obama leaves office. Okay, just because it has wording in there that protects people who have a pre-existing condition does not mean that everything else in there is good, that is acceptable. And let me tell you something about the pre-existing condition clause, because a lot of people have said, oh, this is a great piece to have in there. All right, with pre-existing conditions. You mean to tell me that you are going to charge the same exact amount for someone that has a pre-existing condition as someone who is healthy? So you're going to charge someone who's healthy the same amount as someone who has a pre-existing condition or someone who is sick all the time. Because what's going to end up happening is that healthy person's insurance premiums are going to go up and they're using it less. But then you have the sick person who is paying the same exact cost of the protection. However, they use the health care program much more often. They use the insurance programs much more often. So you mean to tell me that it's fair? I mean, basically, young people that aren't, all that sick, they don't get sick that often. People who are very healthy are paying for services that they're not using. Just so these people who are sick all the time have a little less of a bill. I mean, how is that for socialism? But, that's what we have going on. So you're paying for services that you aren't using. Does that make any sense?
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that teaches you how to invest money, how to prepare for your retirement, basically teaches you how to save money. And they are offering a free report right now that you can sign up for, 18 pages, absolutely free. You can get that by going to 25security.com. That is 25security.com. All you have to do is just type in your first name, last name, primary email, and they will send it right your way. That is 25security.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 25security.com. That's the number 25security.com. 25security.com. Go to 25security.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that basically teaches their clients how to invest money, how to prepare for their retirement, how to reduce their 401ks, basically how to manage your money wisely. And the president of the company is Pamela Yellen. She has investigated over 450 financial products and strategies in search for an alternative task and voluntary of traditional investments. She has appeared on every major TV and radio network, and her articles and interviews have appeared in thousands of publications and websites. And she is a New York Times bestseller on Bank on Yourself Revolution. Now, if you'd like to find out more, you can go to 25security.com. 25security.com. Once again, that is 25security.com. You know, running for the presidency is supposed to be about portraying yourself as the most professional candidate fit for the office.
Caiden Cowger.
So what does Hillary Clinton do?
Somebody had to say it.
She barks like a dog.
You know? Who let the dogs out? 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 You know?
Show notes and segments from today's show will be posted at CaidenCowgerProgram.com. If you're on Twitter, just follow Caiden Cowger at Caiden Cowger.
That would be the best decision of your life. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. So, President Obama visited Cuba. Brought back some cigars, probably. And apparently what we have going on now is a rally that has taken place. It was in Little Havana and demands Cuban libertad. It was a rally that was held in Little Havana, and it demanded Cuban libertad. According to CBS Miami, as President Obama boarded Air Force One for Cuba on Sunday, crowds marched in Miami's Little Havana against the presidential visit to the communist nation. Demonstrators rallied on Southwest 8th Street and 13th Avenue, chanting Libertad. Florida Lieutenant Governor Carlos Lopez Cantera was at the march, a first-generation Cuban-American running for U.S. Senate. Lopez Cantera said that the president's visit to Cuba is a photo op that the Castro regime set up to legitimize themselves, and since easing U.S.-Cuba relations more than a year ago, nothing has changed. There hasn't been any reduction of oppression, Lopez Cantera told CBS 4's Dana Repeto. As a matter of fact, there's been an increase in oppression, an increase in political arrests, and an increase of political beatings against the people who are simply seeking to have rights that we take for granted here in America. Freedom of expression, freedom of press, free elections, the end of human rights violations, and the release of political prisoners. In fact, just before Obama's arrival, more than 50 demonstrators were arrested in the streets of Havana. They are Las Damas de Blanco, the ladies in white. They are the wives and relatives of jailed anti-Castro activists who march to Mass each Sunday, as they have for nearly 4 years. Videos showing police pulling and dragging women as they chanted for freedom only fueled the anger of those against the president's visit already feel. I hope tonight somebody talks to Obama about what happened in Havana today. Angelia Barro de Gazenez told Repato that that's impossible, a disaster. Some say promises have never been kept. The president promised he would visit Cuba when changes were made toward human rights, said activist Carlos Puring. Changes have been made for the worse. FIU professor of politics Edmundo Gamarla specializes in Cuban studies. He said the ladies in white pre-visit arrests were bad PR for the Cubans. Funny. But he also explained it changes nothing. If they were expecting some sort of feelings about any kind of changes, at least in terms of human rights violations, this was not the right message to send, explained Professor Gramada. And again, they could have handled it a lot differently. But again, their insistence is, we are not going to change domestically because it's not what we're negotiating to them. The most important thing is the lifting of the embargo. So they're only happy that we have the embargo. Who cares about them being communists? The professor also pointed out that when you look at the national surveys about President Obama's policies toward Cuba, there's a largely great amount of hope and support. But change will take time, as in many, many years. So we are now partnering with communist Cuba to do what? To have trade relations, I guess. Completely forget about them oppressing their people. Completely forget about all of the people that Fidel Castro and his family have killed. Completely forget about all that. We're just going to form great relations with Cuba. Why are we all of a sudden wanting to partner with terrorists? Why? First it's Iran, then we get from Iran, now we're going to Cuba, we go to Venezuela with Chavez, then he ended up dying. It's just one terrorist country after another. What is happening to the United States of America? At one point, we refused to negotiate with terrorists. Now we're getting to the extent of where we are now befriending terrorists. What is happening to the United States? People have left Cuba and have come over here to the United States to avoid the persecution over there, to avoid the hardships over there, to have a better life in the United States of America. And now what are we doing? We are forming relations with Cuba, a country that oppresses their people, that has oppressed many Americans that once lived over there. We lifted the embargo. What, just so you can have a few cigars? Is that it? It's so absolutely outrageous. But this is what the Obama administration is known for. They are known for making bad decisions. So when Bill Clinton states that Obama's legacy has been absolutely awful, he is exactly right. I don't understand how anyone, be you a Democrat, be you a Republican, how anyone can defend President Obama's record when he is partnering with terrorists, when he's partnering with communists, when he's partnering with socialists. I have absolutely no idea how anyone can support this evil man that is residing in the White House. I don't get it. This man has done everything that he possibly can to destroy Americanism, to destroy capitalism, to destroy anything that this country is known for. He has just made a mess of it. I mean, and if you want to go to an even bigger extent, he has wanted to do what to Guantanamo, to Gitmo? He's wanted to close it. Get rid of Guantanamo. Release the terrorists. We end up negotiating, get Bergdahl. Remember that deal? We trade the traitor for six highly qualified at blowing stuff up. Put it that way. 6 very high-risk terrorists. I believe it was 6. We trade him for a whole bunch of terrorists that are very, very high risk. Send them back to the terrorist organizations as a trade. Was it the Taliban? Taliban, was that it? I tell you, I'm so absolutely disgusted. And then you wonder why Donald Trump is doing so well in the polls, why he's doing so well among the American people. It's because the American people are angry. And people say, well, Donald Trump is just appealing to people's anger. America doesn't need to be angry. America needs to be happy. Just like what John Kasich has been saying, oh, America's great. We are saying that we're not great now. Why we want to make America great again? We're great now. You think that we're a great country when we are partnering with terrorist organizations, when we are partnering with countries that oppress their people, that kill their people, that murder their people for simply voicing an opinion? You mean to tell me that we are a great country when we are doing such an absolutely disgusting thing, where we are murdering our own children, where we are supporting perverted lifestyles? I can go on and on and on and on and on. We are a country that has gone down. We are a country that was once great but has fallen. Ronald Reagan said that as soon as we become a country, as soon as we forget that God is the one who gave us this nation, as soon as we forget that we are a nation under God, we will become a nation gone under. And that is exactly what has happened to the United States of America. We have absolutely ignorant politicians that are running this country, that are making poor decisions, that are more loyal to perversion than they're loyal to the American people, than they're loyal to truth. They are more interested in self-promotion. They are more interested in what is going to benefit them, be it political or otherwise, be it political or monetary gains. And as a result, we as a country suffer for it. And we have a very disturbing statistic that I want to bring up for you. And it's regarding Americans' faith in God. And it's I'm telling you guys, we are really in a huge, huge mess right now. And it's very, very discouraging to see the way that our country is headed. But we have a chance to take it back. And I'm calling on the body of Christ to start taking a stand and witnessing again. I want people to get on fire for the Lord again, because that's exactly what needs to happen if we want to see a great revival take place. It's not going to be a politician. It's not going to be a president. It's going to be the body of Christ waking up and doing their jobs again. Get out on the streets. Start street preaching again. Start witnessing. Start reaching out to the drug addicts. Start reaching out to the sinners and get them saved.
Caiden Cowger.
Keeping America straight.
Somebody had to say it.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that teaches you how to invest money, how to prepare for your retirement, basically teaches you how to save money. And they are offering a free report right now that you can sign up for, 18 pages, absolutely free. You can get that by going to 25security.com. That is 25security.com. All you have to do is just type in your first name, last name, primary email, and they will send it right your way. That is 25security.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 25security.com. That's the number 25security.com. 25security.com. Go to 25security.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that basically teaches their clients how to invest money, how to prepare for their retirement, how to reduce their 401ks, basically how to manage your money wisely. And the president of the company is Pamela Yellen. She has investigated over 450 financial products and strategies in search for an alternative task and voluntary of traditional investments. She has appeared on every major TV and radio network, and her articles and interviews have appeared in thousands of publications and websites. And she is a New York Times bestseller on Bank on Yourself Revolution. Now, if you'd like to find out more, you can go to 25security.com. 25security.com. Once again, that is 25security.com. You know, running for the presidency is supposed to be about portraying yourself as the most professional candidate fit for the office.
Caiden Cowger.
So what does Hillary Clinton do?
Somebody had to say it.
She barks like a dog.
You know? Who let the dogs out? 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 You know?
Show notes and segments from today's show will be posted at CaidenCowgerProgram.com. If you're on Twitter, just follow Caiden Cowger at Caiden Cowger.
That would be the best decision of your life. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, guys, from vocativ.com. Americans are skeptical, apparently, of God, but think that heaven is for real somehow. According to vocativ.com, since 1980, the number of Americans who believe in God has decreased by half, and the number who pray has declined fivefold. Has America lost its faith? The United States formally separates church and state, but it's hard to deny that America is basically has religious innuendo. From its basically controversial, what is this? Controversial pledge of allegiance, all the way down to its Judeo-Christian courthouse displays and faith-espousing legal tinder. Yet fewer Americans pray or believe in God than ever before, according to a new study in the journal Sage Open. Researchers found that the high percentage of Americans who claim that they never pray has reached an all-time high in 2014, up fivefold since the 1980s. Over the same time period, belief in God and interest in spirituality appears to have similarly declined, especially among young adults. The findings suggest that millennials are the least religious generation in memory and possibly in American history. And this is according to Gene M. Twenge, psychology professor at San Diego State University and co-author on the study. In a press statement, most previous studies concluded that fewer Americans were publicly affiliating with a religion, but that Americans were just as religious in private ways. That's no longer the case, especially in the last few years. The notion that the United States is inching away from organized religion is nothing new. Throughout the 2000s, studies repeatedly found that many Americans had lost faith in religious institutions, but scientists suspected that the shift was from organized religion rather than spirituality, that Americans had stopped attending formal services, but that they still prayed and believed in private. And it made sense. The Catholic Church's highly publicized sexual abuse scandals had shaken America's faith in religious leadership right around the same time that our faith in non-religious institutions was beginning to wane. One study in 2014 found that Americans had grown skeptical of church power in much of the same way that they had grown suspicious of all major institutions, including the media, the medical establishment, and Congress. This new study suggests that Americans have a problem with God and that our spiritual issues run deeper than paltry mistrust of religious institutions. So according to what we have here, never attends a religious service. You have 26%. Americans that don't pray, 26%. Never prays, 15%. No religion, 21%. For the study, researchers polled 58,893 entries from the GSS, a nationally representative survey of U.S. adults. The results suggest a steep decline in the number of Americans who pray and believe in God, take the Bible literally, attend religious services, or identified as religious. All factors should have relatively little to do with America's skepticism of large institutions. And that's what we're looking at, starting at, it goes back to 1974 and goes to 2014. So we are, it's really just, it's depressing. So we're at 26% that never attend a religious service, 21% who don't have a religion, and 15% who never pray. Now, why wouldn't the people who have no religion, why wouldn't that number be higher? Like with never prays. Why, if you have no religion, why would you pray? Because there's a gap there. With people who believe in life after death, despite being less religious than ever, people still think that they're going to heaven. 79%. 79% of America, I guess, apparently believes that they are going to heaven. So they don't believe in a specific religion, but they believe that there is a heaven. What in the world is happening? I don't understand this. So, guys, the church needs to wake up and start witnessing again. Time to be soul winners for Christ. Guys, I want to thank you for listening to us tonight. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left Go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.